All right, my friends, now we are back at the VirtualBox Manager here, and we paused our Flare VM operating system. Now, our primary operating system that we'll be using to do this course hasn't actually been set up yet. We do have the Windows 10, but we need to install the software that we'll be using for this course. So go ahead and click Machine, and we'll click Pause to unpause it, and we're back. So we'll open up Microsoft Edge, which is everyone's favorite browser, to download Chrome. And go ahead and grab the Chrome download. And this is a pretty quick setup, so just go ahead and click Download Chrome. Follow all the prompts. We'll get the little Chrome installer exe right here. And we drop this to the desktop, and we'll go ahead and run it. And this will set up Chrome for us. You can click Yes for the UAC prompt. And it will install Chrome for us. And once Chrome is installed, we should get a nice Chrome browser. All right, and we got a Google Chrome browser. So we're looking for Flare VM, this GitHub repository right here. Now, what is Flare VM? It's awesome, is what it is. It is a whole operating system install script setup that will install a bunch of reverse engineering and malware analysis tools on a Windows operating system. It's maintained by FireEye Labs' advanced reverse engineering team. And all we really need to do here is follow the instructions on this install. So take a look at the requirements here. I think we should be good with this. And what we want to do, we've actually pretty much sorted out all of the pre-install steps here. So we've taken a snapshot of our machine, and if anything goes wrong, we can always revert back to it. Now, what we want to do is right-click on install.ps1 and copy link address, and we're going to open up a PowerShell prompt. And we open this up as administrator, so right-click and run as administrator, and you can click yes. And what we want to do is hit enter a couple times until the prompt comes here and set exec policy or execution policy, and you can tab autocomplete for that, unrestricted. And it will say, are you sure you want to do this? And you can hit A, which is yes to all. And that should be good. Now, what we want to do is wget. Oops. We wget. We can go down here to install.ps1 and copy link address. And you're going to wget that right into your operating system. And you can do a -use basic and hit tab autocomplete for use basic parsing. And the other argument that we need here is the out file argument. Now keep in mind that we're currently in the context of system32 and we don't necessarily want to install it there. So we'll do out file and we'll do C, users, and whatever your username is. So for me, that was Husky, desktop, and we can do install.ps1, and that will drop it right to your desktop of your current user. And we've got install.ps1 here. If we change directories to C, users, your username, for me, this is Husky, desktop, and we do a dir command, we'll see that my install.ps1 is right here. So all we now need to do is /install, and we're going to let this run. This is going to take a very long time. And it says you have less than 40 gigs free disk space left. You can go ahead and select yes, that's fine. Password for user Husky, and you can hit OK to that. And this is going to do a full install of the tools in Flare VM, and it will take a little while. So go ahead and let this run, and I'll meet you back here when this is complete. Now, after a reset or two, it will ask you to put in your auto login password, so you can go ahead and put that in. Mine, remember, was password for the Husky user, and it will keep going. Oh, hey, remember when I said this would take a while? I was completely serious. It takes forever. In the time that it's taken, and this isn't even done yet, I have done my laundry, I have paid my credit card bill, I've done a couple other chores. Just hang in there. If you get any prompts that say, do this, continue, just do whatever it needs. It does take a while, but it is worth it. I do promise that. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, finally, it looks like we've got our Flare VM distribution installed. If we hit enter here, maybe hit enter a couple times here, we should be back to our desktop. And all we would need to do at this point is restart. And we'll put in our password of password. And there we go. We've got our awesome Flare VM background. And if you see this background, it's likely that our installation has succeeded. All right, now we are at the single most important part of this whole Flare VM installation process. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be what I'm about to say. What we need to do, and I think you might know what I'm about to say, is go up to Machine. What we're going to do is pause, and we are going to take our snapshot. This is the most important snapshot that we're going to make, and this is our Flare VM base snapshot. And the reason we're doing this is because every time we detonate malware, we do not know what has changed on the operating system. Maybe something was installed into the registry. Maybe there are now files in a directory that weren't there before. Maybe nothing happens at all. But the idea is that if we don't have a good baseline to revert back to, we might never uncover some of the activity of the malware that we're detonating. And so whatever happens, if we unpause this host and let's say that this readme.txt gets deleted, and if the malware only did that, consider ourselves lucky. But let's say that happens, all we would then need to do is shut this virtual machine down. We'll go back to our VirtualBox manager, and we would go over here to snapshots, and we see that we have our base install and we also have our Flare VM base. If you see this current state changed, you know that something has changed between where your VM is currently and where we took the snapshot. And what we're going to do is go back to restore it to the Flare VM base and click restore. You don't need to create a snapshot of the current machine state. If you click restore, we're back to our Flare VM base and we can start back up. And once it restores back to the snapshot state, we see that readme.txt is still here, and effectively our base Flare VM install is still good. Very, very important for when we start to play with things like ransomware and things that install persistence. So make sure that you do that. It's incredibly important to restore to that good baseline configuration. Okay, but that's it. That's our install for Flare VM, and we're going to get rolling on setting up the network, and then we're going to start detonating malware. It should be a very good time. So let's go to the next video, and I'll see you right there.